Welcome to the mind,
Yeah.
the mind, the blizzy blind.
This is Echo and Blizzy. Welcome inside.
Welcome to the mind, the blizzy blind.
You're tuned into the mind that don't fold,
Welcome to the mind
that don't blink.
blizzy blind.
This is the mind of Blizzy Blind. Step into the mind of Blizzy Blind, where the truth cuts clean and the thoughts align. No filters, no fear, every take's refined. If it ain't real talk, then it ain't his vibe. From the chaos to the calm, he was built to shine. Turn the pressure into power, that's the Blizzy design. So sit back, tune in, let it sharpen your mind. Welcome to the world through the eyes of the blind. Came from the grind where the world won't wait. Turn the setbacks into fuel, turn the noise into shape. He's the guy who kept going when the doors locked tight. Turn a spark in the dark to a guiding light. No room to shake him. He been past lies, been fighting off demons since he first got wise. He walks with rhythm that the struggle defined. A voice built heavy, but the message stays kind. Now he's plotting, evolving, leveling by design. From YouTube waves to a space that's refined. He talks real life, no fillers, no rewind. Just truth, clarity, and a Blizzy state of mind. Step into the mind of Blizzy Blind, where the truth cuts clean and the thoughts align. No filters, no fear, every take's refined. If it ain't real talk, then it ain't his vibe. From the chaos to the calm, he was built to shine. Turn the pressure into power, that's the Blizzy design. So sit back, tune in, let it sharpen your mind. Welcome to the world through the eyes of the blind.
Welcome to the mind, the blizzy blind.
You're now in the mind of Blizzy Blind.
Welcome to the mind, the blizzy blind.
Stay real. Let's talk.
Yo, grab yourself a seat, maybe grab you some wine. Yo, what it does, YouTubes? What it does? Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I am your handsome mustachioed host, and you are the most beautifulest, big bootiest viewer on all of YouTube. And let's just get right to the content. Tonight, this late night, we're going to be going over Killshot. Killshot's the homie, my original partner from way back in the day in YouTube. And hopefully we'll start working together again at some point. Hopefully soon. I'm totally down for it. But I didn't get to watch his live stream live because I had to go help my niece with something. But we're going to rewatch it right now. So let's go.
Hey, Stacy, Mom. How's it going? You guys make it home okay? And yes, please make sure you guys hit the like button. It helps tremendously. Get the content out there and let people view the channel a little bit more.
This is Killshot Unleashed. His @ is Killshot Unleashed. If you haven't subbed up to him, man, go sub to him. Dude's good at what he does.
We are going to go over this national security document again, but we're going to read it a little bit more in depth. Let me get it up on screen. What I'm going to end up doing is putting the document itself on full screen so that everybody can see it a little bit better and be able to read it themselves or read along as we go.
And just to set the stage a little bit, Killshot is a veteran, worked on submarines and stuff like that. So he's not just talking out of his ass when he's talking about this stuff. He does know what he's talking about.
You didn't ever want to live in Orlando? Yeah. I don't know a lot about Orlando. I've been outside of Orlando, but I've never been like to Orlando itself. Let's get some music in the background here like we normally do. Where's something?
Turn
It's
it up.
not too loud, is it?
It's too low.
It doesn't sound loud on my end.
Turn it up, fool.
Nope, I just checked. It sounds all right. So, but what we'll do tonight is we'll go through the documents one by one. It is 33 pages, so we're not going to read all of it tonight. I don't think we need to read the opening letter. I think we read that on the last one. So if you guys want to catch up on some of this, make sure you check out the last live stream because we did breeze over a little bit.
Look, there's Shrimp the God's signature. You can always tell because it's just a bunch of pyramids.
Of this. But the first few pages is just the White House opening letter, and then it goes into the table of contents. So realistically, I think there's 30 pages. There's 30 pages. But how's everybody's weekend going so far? Going all right? I hope it's good. Hope you guys are getting ready for the holidays. We got Christmas and New Year's coming up, obviously. But hope everybody's staying safe, keeping their nose clean into the grindstone. I mean, we can't really do much more than that, but today's day and age is crazy as can be. So just make sure you're keeping your wits about you and staying alert and staying vigilant on what's going on around you. There's a lot of communities these days that are hearing about tragedies and whatnot. I mean, we just had the Brown mass shooting today, and when you hear the press conferences and stuff, you hear them talk about how we never would have thought it would have happened here, never would have guessed it would have happened here, and those are the exact places that everything ends up happening. So if you feel like it might not happen in your area and you got a pretty peaceful area and not a lot goes wrong, just make sure you stay, like I said, stay vigilant and stay paying attention to your surroundings.
And stay strapped, man. If you don't have a CHL, get one. And if you can't, get a rifle, man. Get you a shotgun or something because the world is crazy right now.
In your neighborhoods, and if you see anything weird, don't hesitate to take action on it. And what I mean by that is, alerting authorities and talking to the proper people. It may be nothing, but again, if you live in an area that's pretty safe and doesn't seem like it would happen there, that's usually the area that it happens. You're on holiday in Venezuela. How's it going, Kiwi?
Venezuela?
How you doing tonight? You guys having a good weekend so far? It's later on a Saturday night, so I figured I know some people some snow, but not a ton. Hell summer in the southwest part of Michigan has had ice. That's the part that I don't like. If we got like 4,
come on, get to the document.
Or a completely different tab reading the document, because on my StreamYard layout here, there's no way possible that I would be able to read the document. So I have to actually bring it up in a different tab. And I don't run dual monitors, so it's kind of hard when you crunch everything into one screen. So I'm not ignoring you. I am paying attention to chat. I got it over here on my phone so that I can see it if you guys are chatting. But if I'm reading, I'm not always looking back and forth. But again, if you guys, this stuff interests you guys, or if you guys are happy with what I'm doing, please make sure you hit the like button. It definitely helps, and it definitely gets the information out there a little bit farther. And it's not like this is needful and necessary information, but I do think it's helpful information for people to have. So the farther we get it out there and the more information we get out there, the better. I know there's a lot of different bigger channels that are talking about this, but all they do is they go through and they pull out sections that they want to specifically talk about, and then they string that along to, emphasize on it and try to, fear monger everybody about it, where just getting the information straight.
I'm not even sure what this is. Is this like a bill that passed or something? I'm not aware of what this is. I really don't keep up with politics the way that I used to.
Straight and not really non-biased, and me just giving some of my opinion about the entire thing, then I feel like that's a little bit different. But I'll be doing majority of just reading. So, but you guys can also find this document all over the place. I think it's on whitehouse.com or .gov. You can go to the whitehouse.gov and find the document itself and read through it. But yeah, so we'll jump into it. I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So I think last time we read through the introduction and what is the American strategy. But I think I'll start right here and go through it. Now, like I said, we're not going to read the entire thing. We'll read the majority, probably like, 6 or 7 pages. And then, we'll pick it up again. Maybe I'll do another live stream tomorrow night and finish it up. But this definitely not a sit down and read one time thing. You guys will definitely be falling asleep, and it'll take me a few hours to get through the whole entire thing. So I'm not going to read all of it tonight. But we'll get through a good chunk of it. So, all right. So this is 2025's National Security Strategy. It was released, I believe, last week. This is just a opening letter from, it says Donald Trump, but there's no way that's Donald Trump. And it says November of 2025, so maybe it was released last month. I don't know. Don't quote me on the dates. I'm not a politically correct individual that gets everything to the T. I kind of just wing it. But here's the table of contents. You guys, like I said, whoa. Shot me all the way down because I clicked on one of those. Like I said, you guys can go to whitehouse.gov and find this whole document yourself and read through it if you want. Let's go down a little bit. All right. So let's highlight some of this. So it starts out as the introduction. What is the American strategy? It says how American strategy went astray. Bullet point 1 says to ensure that America remains the world's strongest, richest, most powerful, and most successful country for decades to come. Our country needs a coherent, focused strategy for how we interact with the world, and to get that right, all Americans need to know what exactly it is we are trying to do and why. Let me get my reading eyes on, because I can already tell that I'm stuttering like a mofo. Next paragraph, it starts out with a strategy is a concrete, realistic plan that explains the essential connection between ends and means. It begins from an accurate assessment of what is desired and what tools are available or can realistically be created to achieve the desired outcomes. A strategy must evaluate, sort, and prioritize. Not every country, region, issue, or cause, however worthy, can be focused on the American strategy. The purpose of foreign policy is the protection of core national interests. This is the sole focus of the set strategy. American strategies since the end of the Cold War have fallen short. They have been laundry lists of wishes and desired end states, have not clearly been defined what we want, but instead stated vague platitudes and have often misjudged what we should want. And in my opinion, I think that we're still doing that. I mean, like this Venezuela stuff, the China stuff, just literally everything that's going on around the world. Everything is so damn vague. They don't give you the entire information on all of it or what their goals are or what their end means are or any of that stuff. So they're still doing the exact same thing that they're saying that we need to do here. And I don't know. It's just so hypocritical. Like it doesn't matter what side of the government we're talking about here. It's just so damn hypocritical. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republic or independent or liberal or at whatever category you want to put yourself in. It's just hypocritical as shit. So it goes on to say American strategies since the end of the Cold War. Oh, I read that one. After the Cold War, American foreign policy elites convinced themselves that permanent American domination of the entire world was in the best interest of our country. Yet the affairs of other countries are our concern only if their activities directly threaten our interests. I'll save my comment.
Now that's a little bit crazy if you ask me, man, because like we're so self-righteous here in America. Like what makes Americans think that they're entitled to do things like that? To say that like we're interested in being the most powerful, the richest, the strongest, the ones in charge, and the only time we're gonna bomb somebody is if what they do interferes with that. It's crazy.
Comment to the end of this. Our elites badly miscalculated America's willingness to shoulder forever global burdens to which the American people saw no connection to the national interest. They overestimated America's ability to fund simultaneously a massive welfare, regulatory, administrative state alongside a massive military, diplomatic, intelligence, and foreign aid complex. They placed hugely misguided and destructive bets on globalism and so-called free trade that hollowed out the very middle class and industrial base on which American economic and military.
We're just talking about the other night. We're talking about that the other night with Gatsby. They've completely hollowed out the middle class. The people that were in the middle have been forced to the extremes. They've either the very few, a very tiny percentage of people has become richer, but most people have just become poorer.
Preeminence depend. They allowed allies and partners to offload the cost of their defense onto the American people and sometimes to suck us into conflicts. Now it goes on, but I need to comment on this because, I mean, Trump is literally doing this exact same thing right now, and I don't fault them for it. Like, imagine if the EU, imagine if they were the most powerful entity in the world right now. And you guys see what America's doing in other countries where, we're imposing our will onto just about any country just because of the simple fact we are the most powerful country in any way, shape, or form when you look at it. We have the largest economy. Everybody wants to sell their goods here because we have the largest consumer base. We have the largest military. We spend way more than like the top 9 countries combined. So we are the most powerful country. But imagine if the EU or China or Russia was the most powerful country and they were able to come over and impose their will on us. Do we really want that happening? Like, we really do not want that happening. We want to be the most powerful entity in the world, and we want to be able to impose our will, no matter how cruel it really seems. But that's in the state of the world. That's the way that we want to be. Now, I agree. We don't want to be in these forever wars. We need to have.
The question is do we deserve that? Are we entitled? Are we entitled to do that? I think is the question.
Have a clear-cut end to everything, but look at what's going on in Venezuela. The administration's still not talking about anything, and I don't disagree. We need to go in there and get Maduro out of there, and we need to, cleanse that whole place of all these drug facilities and, all these evil ass people that are killing and being migrated to the United States and all that stuff. Like all that needs to end. But he's not giving the American people any clear cut what he's trying to go in there to do, which he's saying right here needs to happen. Is they needed to, you know, clearly define what we want, but instead they gave vague platitudes and have often misjudged what we want. It's right here at the end of this, at the very end of this. And they're still doing that. You know, like he still doesn't talk about what he wants to do with the end of whatever. I'm not going to try highlighting that. He's still not talking about what he wants to do to try or what the end or anything is with Ukraine and Russia. All the only thing that he says is I want the killings to stop. I want the deaths to stop. I want the murdering to stop. Like that's the only thing that he ever says. He doesn't give a clear cut and defined, you know, anything. He still just gives vague platitudes. When it comes to Venezuela, vague platitudes. When it comes to anything, you know, when it comes to like the Syria stuff that just happened where two military individuals got ambushed and they were killed, like it's still vague platitudes. They don't give solid information or anything to the American people, but yet they're sitting here criticizing previous administrations for not doing so. And so it's just, I don't care what side of the fence you are, your party is hypocritical as shit. So we'll go, it says right here, I'll finish or I'll reset it. I'll repeat the last sentence so that I can carry on into this kind of the area below so that I don't just start off in the middle of it. Up here, it starts out as they are allowed allies and partners to offload their costs of defense onto the American people and sometimes to suck the U.S., suck us into conflicts and controversies central to their interests, but peripheral or irrelevant to our own. Again, they're doing the exact same thing with this administration as well. And they lashed American policy.
Well, and the thing is too is that like we don't allow people to suck us into conflicts that we don't want to be a part of. Like that's our agenda.
To a network of international institutions, some of which are driven by outright anti-Americanism and many by transnationalism that explicitly seeks to dissolve individual state sovereignty. In some, not only did our elites pursue a fundamentally undesirable and impossible goal, in doing so, they undermined the very means necessary to achieve that goal, the character of our nation upon which its powers, wealth, and decency were built. Now, I don't think a lot of people understand that, like, a lot of people that are in the MAGA party, like not just the administration, but the actual MAGA movement and all that, they are some of the biggest elites in the United States right now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do the exact same thing, but in a different direction. And why do you think you got so many people that are trying to fight you and are trying to stop you in every single turn? It's because of the simple fact that you're now trying to make them go 180 degrees the other way when we should be trying to find somewhere right at 90 degrees where it's right in the middle. You know, like the problem in this country is we're constantly tearing each other at the seams, and the seams are our belief systems. I'm not talking about just religious. I'm talking about our beliefs and our morals and all that stuff are getting tore apart at the seams from one another. We have families and friends and everybody that would never speak to each other again because of this. And that shouldn't be a thing. Like, we should be able to understand.
That's the whole problem with party politics, because you are expected to back your party up no matter what they're talking about. And it's crazy because if you're in your 40s, like, or into your late 30s, then you've seen how some of these issues have literally been handed off from party to party. Like, it's just crazy because one decade it'll be that the Democrats are with gay people. Then the next decade it'll be that the Democrats are against gay people or abortions or whatever. Like, it's stupid, man. If you believe in party politics and you don't understand the fact that they're both the same, they're both two sides of one coin working towards the same goal.
And where each other are coming from decent human beings, but we're not. All we do is then try to do exactly what the United States does on the rest of the world. We're trying to impose our will on others. We're trying to tell them that what they believe and how they feel and the life that they want to live is wrong. And nobody, I don't care what side of the fence you are, nobody wants to be told that.
Facts.
And that's exactly what our elites are doing right now. I mean, you got Donald Trump. He's one of the elites. You got RFK. He's an elite. You got Elon Musk. He's an elite. You got, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. I mean, and they are the ones that are trying to bring our society, like, really swing the pendulum all the way back the other way. What I'm afraid of is that pendulum is going to go way too far the other way, where we need it to, slow down and stop somewhere in the middle instead of just drastically swinging one way and then drastically swinging the back the other way. Because the vast majority of the people in the United States don't feel the same way as what either side of these guys.
The only way, and this is all my opinion, but I feel like the only way that that's ever going to happen is to get rid of party politics. If you never notice, when you're talking to somebody who's all about the party, they're always like, oh, you're a fence sitter. Oh, you're on the fence. You're sitting on the fence. Oh, you don't know how, you don't have your mind made up. Oh, you ride the line. Oh, this and that. When the bottom line is that's the most beneficial way to look at things. You want to try and look at things from all points of view, not just the guaranteed position that your party will guarantee. If you're a Democrat, you're going to vote that way, you're going to feel that way. And too many people attach these ideas to their identity, in my opinion.
These guys do. And I mean, that's shown at the voting polls. Realistically, we only have 154 million or something like that voted in this last, primary election. And that's only maybe half of the United States. So let's carry on. Let me highlight some of this. I don't know if it helps you guys or not to kind of break it up from that white background so that we can see it a little easier. It does for me to read, at least. So bullet point 2, President Trump's necessary and welcome correction. None of this was inevitable. President Trump's first administration proved that with the right leadership making the right choices, all of the above could and should have been avoided and much else achieved. He and his team successfully marshaled America's great strengths to correct course and begin ushering in a new golden age for our country. To continue the United States on that path is the overreaching purpose of President Trump's second administration and of this document. The questions before us now are: 1, what should the United States want? 2, what are available means to get it? And 3, how can we connect ends and means into a viable national security strategy? Now, we've all seen Trump, like they can list all this out that they want, but what they're actually going to do is it's going to be completely opposite of what is said here. I can almost promise you that. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just checked over on chat a minute, make sure I wasn't missing anybody or anything. But with Trump the way that he is now, like the problem that I see with where we're going now with all of with all of I can already imagine what's going to be said. I mean, the guy's been talking for a year straight. I'm sure everything that he said and all the information that he said is in here somewhere. So it's not like this is going to be new information for us. But if you guys haven't noticed by now, Trump, he's all talk and very little action. So it's going to be interesting to see what this says and what the next few years are going to bring. And it's going to be a roller coaster, so everybody should buckle up. But section 2, what should the United States want? Number 1, what do we want overall? Let's read this. So it says, first and foremost, we want the continued survival and safety of the United States as an independent sovereign republic whose government secures the God-given natural rights of its citizens and prioritizes their well-being and interests. We want to protect this country, its people, its territories, its economy, and its way of life from military attack, hostile foreign influence, weather espionage, predatory trade practices, drug and human trafficking, destructive propaganda, and influence operations.
Weather espionage? Hey, you there, Gemini?
Yes, I'm still here.
Hey,
Ready for any other?
Can you tell me what weather espionage is?
Weather espionage sounds like a fascinating concept. It would likely refer to the secret gathering of weather information for strategic or national security purposes. Is there a particular context you're interested in?
Yeah, in this latest document released by the White House, it talks about protecting America from weather espionage.
I'm not finding a specific document that uses the phrase weather espionage. There are documents about protecting sensitive data from foreign adversaries or acts of espionage in general, but not specifically about weather. Could it have been a different term?
Hold on, let me find the name of the document for you.
Sure, no problem. Take your time.
Okay, I'm not sure the name. It's what it is the National Defense Strategy. Gemini, did you hear me? Gemini.
Yes?
The document is the National Security Strategy of the United States of America, November 2025.
I have looked at some summaries of a national security strategy from November 2025, but the term weather espionage doesn't appear in the results. The documents seem more focused on other kinds of threats, like espionage, migration.
Well, in the introduction, it says it names off things that. I feel like you're beating around the bush. What are they talking about?
I apologize if it feels that way.
Since I don't have access to specific proprietary or potentially classified documents, I can only provide general information.
Are they talking about somebody manipulating our weather?
Weather manipulation is a complex and speculative area. While some technologies exist for things like cloud seeding, widespread or hostile weather manipulation is highly debated.
God, I hate these fucking language models, man. They're full of shit. What's up, Toxic Angel? Salute. I'm going over the national security strategy that my homeboy Killshot covered, and they just said that the aim is to protect us against weather espionage.
We're going now with all of what's, I can already imagine what's going to be said. I mean, the guy's been talking for a year straight. I'm sure everything
I know what you're talking
he
about.
said and all the information that he said is in here somewhere. So it's not like this is going to be new information for us. But if you guys haven't noticed by now, Trump, he's all talk and very little action.
It'll go right back to being full of shit. But it says it right here. It says we want to protect the country, its people, its territory. Excuse me. The reason I asked about it was because this is the first time I've ever seen it in a document like this. Because like we've heard about it in clandestine whatever context, but we've never heard about anybody talking about it outright. And it says it right here. It says we want to protect this country, its people, its territory, its economy, and its way of life from military attacks, hostile foreign influence, weather espionage, predatory trade practices. So they're pretty much saying that people could come in and manipulate our weather.
So it's going to be interesting to see what this says and what the next few years are going to bring.
I should have voted Kamala. That's funny.
And it's going to be a roller coaster, so everybody should buckle up. But Section 2, what should the United States want? Number 1, what do we want overall? Let's read this. So it says, first and foremost, we want the continued survival and safety of the United States as an independent sovereign republic whose government secures the God-given natural rights of its citizens and prioritizes their well-being and interests. We want to protect this country, its people, its territories, its economy, and its way of life from military attack, hostile foreign influence, weather espionage, predatory trade practices, drug and human trafficking, destructive propaganda, and influence operations, cultural subversion, or any other threat to our nation. We want full control over our borders, over our immigration system, and over transportation networks through which people come into our country, legally and illegally. We want a world in which migration is not merely orderly, but one in the sovereign countries work together to stop rather than facilitate.
That's such an odd thing to say. To say we want full control over our borders, over our immigration system, and over transportation networks through which people come into our country legally and illegally. Like if they had control, it would only be legally, wouldn't it? Weather are two tones. Yeah. It wasn't saying whether or not espionage. It said weather espionage. But thank you, Captain Crunch.
Destabilize the population flows and have full control over whom they do and do not admit. Now he has done a lot of that when it comes to immigration already. And I know that was one of
to say that they want to maintain control of the borders though with legal and illegal immigration is kind of crazy.
Big wants and needs. We want a resilient national infrastructure that can withstand natural disasters, resist and thwart off foreign threats, and and prevent or mitigate any events that might harm the American people or disrupt the American economy. No adversary, geez, what beats? No adversary or danger should be able to hold America at risk. We want to recruit, train, equip, and field the most powerful, lethal, and technologically advanced military to protect our interests, deter wars, and if necessary, win them quickly and decisively with the lowest possible casualties to our forces. And we want a military in which every single service member is proud of their country and confident in their mission. We want the world's most robust, credible, and modern nuclear deterrent, plus next generation missile defenses, including a golden dome for the American homeland to protect the American people, American assets overseas, and American allies. Now, we've heard him say a lot of that already, like I was saying previously.
What is a golden dome for the American homeland? What does that even mean? We want the world's most robust, credible, and modern nuclear deterrent plus next generation missile defenses, including that must be a nuclear defense system.
And sorry, I need to take a drink because my mouth is dry. Sorry for the noise. And I actually agree with this section here because, again, like I said, we want to have that dominance across the world. Like, we don't want other countries to have dominance over us, as cruel or as bad as it may seem. And on the world scale, we have to have that. Let me go down a little bit so that we can continue on without having a hiccup. So it states, we want the world's strongest, most dynamic, most innovative, and most advanced economy. The United States economy, or the U.S. economy, is the bedrock of the American way of life, which promises, and
No, I missed it. That's why I'm covering it, because I had to go to my little sister's.
delivers widespread and broad-based prosperity and creates upward mobility and rewards hard work. Our economy is also the bedrock of our global position and the necessary foundation of our military. We want the world's most robust industrial base. American national power depends on a strong industrial sector, oh my goodness, capable of meeting both peacetime and wartime production demands. That requires not only direct defense industrial production capacity, but also defense-related production capacity. Cultivating American industrial strength must become the highest priority of national economic policy. Now, I don't know if anybody ever paid attention back during the World Wars, but the American industrial capabilities back then was insane. Like, you guys know how large aircraft carriers are. We were pumping those out like once every 3 weeks or so. I would have to go back and look, but it was like within a few weeks we were just cranking them out. And think about that. Think about how much of production needs to go into that, how much steel needs to be made, how much, like, everything that it does that like goes into making an aircraft carrier. And we were kicking them out. Nowadays, like, it takes us years to build an aircraft carrier. Like, how were we so productive, 80 years ago, 90 years ago, even 100 years ago? We were more productive than what we are now. And the reason is because we took a lot of that production and moved it out of our country. We thought it was better to have it done cheaply somewhere else in the world,
true.
And then shipped over to us than what it actually would be here. And like, when you have an entire economy of people that are working together to create things that defend our country, which it wasn't just shipbuilding. You got to figure there was tanks that needed to be built. There was vehicles that needed to be built. There was, ammo that needed to be made. There was all of that needed to be done. Nowadays, we outsource most of that to other countries, and then we don't do any of that in house. But when you have an entire country of people that are working on supplying our military and whatnot, it brings the whole country together for one purpose. But nowadays, so many Americans just hate our country that 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 is what they bred us into, is they made us hate this country,
I agree.
you know, and made us be demonized that we're the worst country in the world. I mean, look at what the Democrats are doing right now on every front. Even if it's something good that we're doing, they're getting the Trump administration is getting demonized. I mean, a lot of this stuff is common sense, but yet the Democratic side of our government is just fighting everything tooth and nail, just absolutely tooth and nail. And so it tells you that at least half of our country really does hate our country for what we stand for. Now, do I think every part of what America stands for is how do I want to say it? Like morally correct? No, but I mean, we're a lot better than a lot of other places around this world. So,
Hell yeah, I agree with that. And having visited third world countries, man, I can tell you, uh, we're blessed, and patriotism has wavered to the point where it's sad, man. I mean, we should be proud to be patriotic.
you gotta, like I said, you gotta take a minute and sit back and think, like, would you want to live in China? I mean, would you want to live in Venezuela? Would you want to live in Mexico? I mean, listen to all these things that are going on. Would you want to live over in any European country right now? I mean, like, you can go to prison for just speaking your mind.
That's crazy,
So
right?
just think about that.
Is that not crazy how people in fucking England are going to jail for just saying stuff? That's crazy.
Like, is there anywhere else that you would actually want to live?
Yeah, in Mexico you can bribe cops. That's true.
So when we sit here and want to demonize our country, like, where else would you want to be? That's a genuine question. I mean, let me know down in the chat or even in the comment sections on, like, where else would you rather be than the United States?
Sweden, Switzerland. That's the only place
Because
I'd be.
honestly, I can't think of a reason, or I couldn't think of a reasonable place where I would want to be other than the United States. And when you sit back and look at our immigration too, why are there millions and millions and millions of people wanting to come to this country? If this country was so bad, why do so many people want to break every law we have to get here? It can't be that bad. So for one of our, for our Democratic Party, for almost the entire Democratic Party, want to tell us on how bad and hateful and destructive of a nation we are, then, like, why are you guys here? Like, what is your purpose? You're going to come here and try to change 3/4 of the United States? It's not going to happen.
You know what a lot of the problem is, man? And this is just real talk. A lot of the problem is that a lot of these people never learned that you don't build off of criticizing what we have. Like, you're not ever going to make something better just purely by crying about what it is. Like, our whole mindset should be we can make the country better. We can make things better. We can make things better. But instead, people just want to cry and bitch about what is incessantly. It's insane.
Happen. Let me get back into this because I get off on tangents.
That's a misnomer though, Toxic, because Trump actually, the way that Trump is going about the deportations is fucking stupid, bro. Like, Trump is having people turn people in and stuff. Like, it's terrible the way that Trump is doing it. Like when you came into adulthood, they give you this thing. It's I don't can't remember what it's called, but it's like you it's all for show. Well, not all for show because everyday people that are just hardworking people are getting fucking shit back to the countries that they never even grew up in, and it's crazy, bro. Trump is just like Obama, dog. And you know what? It's funny. It's funny because it took Obama till his second term to show us just how much of a fucking hypocrite he was, and it's the exact same thing with Trump, bro.
We want the world's most robust industrial base. American national power depends on strong industrial sector capable of meeting both peacetime and wartime demands. I read this
Yeah,
already, but I'm going to continue to go on. That requires not only direct defense industrial production capacity, but also defense related production capacity. Cultivating
exactly, bro. Exactly. Stop looking from left to right and look from bottom to top. That's exactly right, bro. When I mean, look, dog. The Epstein thing alone, bro. And I fight my brother about this all the time, dog, because my brother is like a fucking class act, grade A Trump glazer. Like every time I ask him if he's still throating Trump, he just goes like he's choking on Trump's weenie. But what do you call it? The Epstein thing alone, bro. That one little thing, bro, lets you know just how fucked off our whole country is, bro. Like just everything about that scenario. And then the fact that this bitch, Jelaine Giswell, Maxwell, whatever the fuck her name is, bro, the fact that she's going to end up getting pardoned, bro, I mark my words, dog. I told my brother this and he was like, nah, blah, blah, blah. But you can see that things are being put into place to where she's going to end up being pardoned by the time Trump leaves, dog. The way that he talks about her, the way that he says that he wishes her well and all that shit, like, it's crazy, bro.
American industrial strength must become the highest priority of our national economic policy. We want the world's most robust, productive, and innovative energy sector, one capable not just of fueling American economic growth, but of being one of America's leading export industries in its own right. We want to remain the world's most scientifically and technologically advanced and innovative country, and to build on these strengths. And we want to protect our intellectual property from foreign theft. America's pioneering spirit is a key pillar of our continued economic dominance and military superiority. It must be preserved. We want to maintain the United States' unrivaled soft power through which we exercise positive influence throughout the world that furthers our interest in doing so. We would be unapologetic about our country's past and present while respectful of other countries' differing religious cultures and governing systems. Soft power that serves America's true national interest is effective only if we believe in our country's inherent greatness and decency. Finally, we want the restoration, reinvigoration of American spiritual and cultural health, without which long term security is impossible. We want an America that cherishes its past glories and its heroes, and that looks forward to a new golden age. We want a people who are proud, happy, and optimistic that they will leave their country to the next generation better than they found it. We want a gainfully employed citizenry with no one sitting on the sidelines who take satisfaction from knowing that their work is essential to the prosperity of our nation and to the well-being of individuals and families. This cannot be accomplished without growing numbers of strong traditional families that raise healthy children. Here we go. What do we want from the world? What do we want in and from the world? Achieving these goals requires marshaling every resource of our national security, our national power. Yet the strategies focus on foreign policy. We are America's core foreign policy interests. What are America's core foreign policy interests? What do we want in and from the world? Bullet point one, it says we want to ensure that the Western Hemisphere remains reasonably stable and well governed enough to prevent and discourage mass migration to the United States. We want a hemisphere whose governments cooperate with us against narco terrorists.
Not to start a whole nother conversation, but how is there a Western Hemisphere on a globe? You know what I mean? Because like I can understand the concepts of north and south because uh we're tilted a certain way as we rotate. But on a globe, how is there a Western Hemisphere? Just something to think about.
Cartels, and other transnational criminal organizations. We want a hemisphere that remains free of hostile foreign incursion or ownership of key assets and the support critical supply chains. And we want to ensure our country access to key.
No, but how do you establish East and West on a globe? Is what I'm asking. Like, I understand all that, what you're saying, but how do you establish those directions on a globe? Considering that on a globe, they will wrap back around and it would just be a circle. There would be no East and West.
Strategic locations. In other words, we will assert and enforce a Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. I think I said this last time. I don't know why everything's got
a compass does not show it. What do you mean? I know that a flat map, if you take a globe and you just flatten it out, that shows it as west and that shows China as the east. But a globe, there's no such thing as east and west.
It's got to be a Trump this and a Trump that. Like, why can't they just come up with a name that doesn't have Trump in it? We want to halt and reverse the ongoing damage that foreign actors inflict on the American economy while keeping the Indo-Pacific free. And
yeah, on a flat map, then you can actually. But on a globe, like, where would you start? Because you would have to have a center point to be able to point to the east and be able to point to the west. But if it's a circle, then there's no center point and there's no because the center point would always be moving, so there would be absolutely no concept of east and west.
Free and open, preserving freedom of navigation in all crucial sea lanes, and maintaining secure and reliable supply chains and access to critical materials. We want to support our allies.
Well, dude, you know what the ice wall actually is, in my opinion, bro? Like, going back to that conversation, is do you know what absolute zero is? Have you ever heard the term absolute zero? It's the temperature which is so cold with no consciousness and no light, and all matter ceases to exist, because all matter is vibrating atoms, and once the temperature drops so low, atoms aren't able to vibrate or whatever, and then if there's no heat and there's no consciousness, it's called absolute zero. What do you call it? It's the true definition of a vacuum. And that's what's beyond the ice wall, if you ask me. And if you were to go far enough, you may possibly run into new luminaries that create new dimensions or planets or whatever you want to call them.
And preserving the freedom of security of Europe while restoring Europe's civilization.
Oh, snap, dude. You know what I just thought about? Is is imagine is out think about this, bro. Is that what outer space really is? Is it freezing cold darkness with no, because there's light up there. But I mean, is the light actually in it or is the light beyond it? Because like what if space is that but it's just clear? Like what if we're looking at like what if space was actually at the temperature absolute zero and there's like the lights we see are beyond space, they're not necessarily in the space. I don't know, I would have to like finish thinking that through, but my bad, I don't mean to derail from the
self-confidence, and Western identity. Europe's got to want that though. Like we can't make Europe do that if their entire world over there doesn't want it. We want to prevent an adversarial.
I mean, I don't know. Uh I don't know cuz like it is the light reaching it, cuz if there's light in the spaces at all, then it's not, it can't be. But that dude, that's the reason why I think like the people that think we're gonna go to Mars and the people that think we've been to the moon like are tripping, bro. Like anybody that has faith in those silly things that they say is crazy to me, bro. Like that's a pipe dream. Like that's not even possible.
Power from dominating the Middle East, its oil and gas supplies, and the choke points through which they pass while avoiding the forever wars that bogged us down in the region at great cost. And we want to ensure the U.S. technology and U.S. standards, particularly in AI, biotech, quantum computing, drive the world forward. These are the United States' core, vital national interest, while we also have others. These are the interests.
That sounds familiar. Planet Veritas? Planeta Veritas? I don't know about that. I don't know. Name sounds familiar, kind of. I knew all of the flat earthers if they were like the OGs.
We most focus on above
Like
all.
Eric Dubay and what's his name? What was his name? The one that painted for NASA. Math something was his name, I think. I don't know, I can't remember.
All others, and that we ignore or neglect at our peril. I don't think I necessarily disagree with any of that, but again, I think, it all, like when it comes to Europe and trying to restore all that stuff, like, I don't know. We need to restore our Western ways here in the United States before we worry about Europe. Europe right now is kind of a lost cause. That place, man, that place is worse than the United States, and that's saying something.
And it's crazy because we don't ever learn anything about Europe here in the US. Like we don't know what the hell is going on over there. But when you hear people from over there talking about it, it's like, damn, I had no idea that it was like that. Like the way things are in Europe is crazy, bro.
Man, did I bore all you guys to sleep? You guys all taking a nap now? I haven't seen anybody chat and write anything in chat in a few minutes. So we're on.
I wish I would have caught this in time, man. I hurried home hoping that he was still on, and I was like, damn.
On to number 3. It says, what are America's available means to get what we want? It says America retains the world's most inevitable and viable position. Oh, it's not a word that I've seen too many. too often or at all. With world-leading assets, resources, and advantages, including a still nimble political system that can course correct, the world's single largest and most innovative economy, which both generates wealth we can invest in strategic interests and provides leverage over other countries that want access to our markets. The world's leading financial system and capital markets, including the dollar's global reserve currency status. Talking about the American dollar, did you guys see the EU is like threatening to sell like $2.7 million or $1 trillion worth of bonds that they're holding?
Oh yeah, and did y'all see that the penny got discontinued? That they're not going to be making the penny anymore?
And if the EU decides they want to sell that, then that's going to drop the American dollar like 30%. I don't know what it's at currently, but like if you drop $1 down 30 cents, now your dollar in the world is only worth 70 cents. So like if we try to take our money outside the United States, our dollar would only be worth 70 cents. But I think it would be less than that because I don't know what our dollar is worth right now.
That would wreck the economy, dude. That would wreck the economy hard.
Oh, hey, Jen. Glad to see you're new here. Thank you for hitting the chat. Appreciate it.
Oh, salute to you, Jen. It's awesome that you went by there. Thanks for showing support to the homie.
Thank you for listening. But if the EU decides to do that, then that's gonna be bad for our entire.
The EU is Europe, right? That's what he means when he's saying the EU.
Our entire economy, like even the markets. That means the stock market would take an automatic 30% hit. Because then like literally every dollar that's in the stock market is worth 30% less.
Damn.
So they're now trying to use that as leverage against the United States for the tariffs and all the other shit that's going on, which is wild. Absolutely wild.
What's up, Rockefeller? Salute to you, bro. Welcome in. And the Botherer 123, salute to you and welcome in also. Yeah, he kicked my ass all over the place, bro. I want my rematch.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the money to invest in silver and gold, I would definitely do so, because those are starting to creep up there.
Copper, man. The thing that by discontinuing the penny, there's so many people, bro. I've seen tons of people that has pennies by the 5-gallon bucket, and not all of these people are going to go and turn them in. What do you call it? Not all of them are going to exchange them within the next like 20 years, I'm sure, dude, because I've seen people with fucking buckets of pennies buried, and they're going to become more valuable as the years go by. In 20 or 30 years, dude, if you have one of those buckets of pennies, shit, who knows how much it might be worth, because copper is going up too. We talk, I don't know, everything, talked about a whole bunch, but right now we're watching Killshot cover the national defense strategy or security strategy.
Where was I? So here we go. The world's most advanced and I read that one. The world's most powerful and capable military, a broad network of alliances with treaty allies and partners in the world, most strategically important regions. An inevitable there's that word again. An inviolable geography with abundant national resources, no competing powers physically dominant in our hemisphere, borders at risk of military invasion, and other great powers separated by vast oceans. See, I don't think I agree with all of that. Because like right now,
I don't know, you were there, weren't you, Toxic? You were there on the panel? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Rockefeller just loves glazing Gatsby, but I'll let him have that one. Yeah, remember you were there?
Now, the we're every ally that we have right now, we're pissing off. Like literally every ally.
That's
The
true.
only ones that we're not
Dude, when did Europe even go crazy, bro? Like, has it always been like that to where you can only say certain things and stuff? Like, cause I know people personally that are going through trouble because of shit that they said online, and I never knew that. Like, I didn't know that England did that shit.
not like making angry is basically Israel. Don't get me wrong. Like I love Israel to death and I support Israel through and through, but man, they're not gonna be much help when it comes to the world stage. Like we need the EU, that's part of NATO. And if we're constantly pissing everybody off, like what's gonna make them not drag their feet to come help us in situations? Don't get me wrong, we're one of the strongest militaries in the world, but we're not gonna be able to take on like 4 or 5 of these countries at the exact same time.
He's not far left. What are you talking about? Killshot's not far left. Killshot is definitely not far left.
Yeah, I got it. It's not a word that I see every day, so it's not like I can pronounce that just off the top of my head. I do see a lot of big words, but that's not one of them.
It's enviable, like envy.
It says unmatched soft power and cultural influence, and the courage, willpower, and patriotism of the American people. Now you got me all tongue tied. Thanks. In addition,
Who's he talking to?
through President Trump's robust domestic agenda, the United States is reinstalling a culture of competence, rooting out so-called DEI and other discriminatory and anti-competitive practices that degrade our institutions and hold us back. Unleashing our enormous energy production capacity as a strategic priority to fuel growth and innovation and to bolster and rebuild the middle class. Reindustrializing our economy, again, to further support the middle class and control.
You're talking about Gatsby toxic? That's what I thought that was funny, bro, when he was talking to you about the Aztecs and stuff. Dang, you're calling Gatsby con artist? That's crazy. I don't know. I don't know him that well.
Our own supply chains and production capacities, which I agree with that. Like, I do think we need to bring a lot of this back to the United States. Like, man, do I ever believe that? Like, we need to.
And if you're saying Killshot's a con artist, Killshot isn't a con artist at all. I've been trying to get Killshot to come back. This dude is one of the most stand-up dudes on YouTube, man. What do you call it? One of the solidest moral compasses I've ever seen, bro. Real talk.
To bring back a lot of these industries. Like you've seen small town after small town after small town after small town being decimated because some of these industries that are there all of a sudden just up and leave. And a lot of people have been brought to that city because of the industry and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden it's gone. And I mean, I've seen it in many places here in the in Michigan. We used to have a ton of automotive here in Michigan in so many different cities. And when they started making everything so dang hard to make here in the United States, we ended up moving a lot of stuff out of our state. And it just destroyed a lot of our small cities here.
He said that the Europe is holding a bunch of bonds of Americas or something, and if they were to unload them, that America would lose 30% of the dollar.
And even some of our mid-sized cities. Some of them are starting to build up with different industries that are moving in and stuff like that, but it's still it just decimated so many of our small cities. So I know it's done that throughout the entire country when it comes to steel workers, or it comes to automotive, or if it comes to just like literally anything, legitimately anything. Oh, this is a short page. Good. Good. So we'll highlight this. Says returning economic freedom to our citizens via historic tax cuts and deregulatory efforts, making the United States the premier place to do business and invest capital and invest.
G.G. Allen, the punk rocker, the one that used to take a dookie on stage, and did you say the Gatsby debated Andrew Wilson? What did they debate about?
Investing in emerging technologies and basic science to ensure our continued prosperity, competitive advantage, and military dominance for our future generations. The goal of this strategy.
Oh, the one that was in your chat. Okay.
Is to tie together all of these world-leading assets and others to strengthen American power and preeminence and make our country even greater than it ever has been.
Dang, Toxic taking shots. Brat, brat. He said maybe he's a good example of Dunning-Kruger. High IQ often listen more than they talk. I have to agree with that. I don't know which one applies to Gatsby. We've only had the one conversation. He seemed like a cool enough dude, but he's young too, so I don't expect him to know a whole lot.
Again, this all sounds fine and dandy and sounds fantastic, but I just don't know how much of this he's actually going to accomplish. I mean, look at what's happening every time they go to make any kind of sort of a change. They're being blocked all over the place. So it's like, it's, I don't know. It almost seems worthless at times, which I guess you can't give up because then things will never change. But, I mean, again, I'm not a Republican, but I can't get down with a lot of the things that the Democrats are doing right now. And I'm not a Democrat either. Like, for me personally, I think it's fucked up that we want to put ourselves in categories. Like, we are literally segregating ourselves. And if you look at it, like, the United States loves to segregate ourselves. We segregate ourselves by, religion. We segregate ourselves by, the color of our skins, the way we talk, what our sexuality is, what our political beliefs are, what kind of like cars you drive. Like, we are the land of segregation. Like, we intentionally.
That's true. Social segregation, because of these completely irrelevant, trivial matters, social constructs and stuff. We segregate ourselves. That's very true. 27 and 28 is very young, in my opinion.
Put ourselves in different categories from each other. And it never used to be that way. Like, everybody, it seemed like the American dream and everything was the exact same for everyone. Like, you wanted to get a house, own your own property, have a family, be able to provide for that family, be able to go on some small vacations, be able to afford, maybe not top of the line things, but nice things, and not have to work your entire life away in order to get those things. And nowadays, there's people that work 60, 70 hours a week that are making the bare minimum to be able to afford anything that's even remotely close to being like middle class standard, let alone living a good life or being able to go on vacations or, almost if you look, the majority of Americans, if their water heater goes out on their house, they don't have the spare money in their savings accounts to be able to replace that. So they're racking up, debt on credit cards and all this other fun jazz. Like they have made us so dependent on the system in general.
Bro, this is so true, dude. When like 10, not even 15, like 10 years ago, we were going on vacations for every holiday. We literally went to Disneyland. We went all over the place. So we were going on vacation all the time, and then it's just like the whole world shifted right after COVID.
That now they're mad because everybody relies on the system so much.
Hey, Disneyland was awesome, bro. That Disneyland was like the coolest thing ever, bro.
All right, so
but we couldn't.
I don't know what section this is.
We couldn't afford that right now. There's no way we could afford that right now.
Can't read Roman numerals, but anyways, the strategy. Number one principle: President Trump's foreign policy is a pragmatic.
That's funny. I like you too, Rockefeller. And I like Gatsby, but in a real debate, I would cook that boy.
It is pragmatic without being pragmatic. What? That is so ridiculous. Like, you're talking out both sides of your mouth here. Realistic without being realist. Principled without being idealistic. Muscular.
President Trump's foreign policy is pragmatic without being pragmatist. Realistic without being realist. Principled without being idealistic. Muscular without being hawkish. This is all bullshit, just silly goofery. Pragmatic without being pragmatist. I mean, I understand what it's saying. It's saying it wouldn't be extreme. It's saying it's not extreme. Like, because a pragmatist is the extreme version of pragmatic, and a realist is like extreme version of being realistic. But this is all just like nonsense.
Without being hawkish, and restrained without being dovish. It is not grounded in traditional political ideology. It is motivated above all that works for America, or in 2 words, America first.
Right on, Rockefeller. Salute to him, man. And I got to admit, I am impressed if he debated Andrew Wilson. I got to sit down and watch that one day. But what's up, Clue? Salute to you, bro. I haven't seen you in a long time, my guy. Salute, bro. But I'm always up for it, bro. If he ever wants to do like an actual structured debate, bro, I'm here for it.
I wish that was true, that he thought about America first. But if you guys look at what he's doing, he's worrying about the rest of the.
Let me drop the link in case y'all want to come up. Yeah, Clue is based.
Of the world. Like, now that midterms are coming up and everything, now he's wanting to worry about America first. And like, he's now, out and about trying to what is that? Like, he's trying to like force out the Republicans that don't agree with him or don't want to go along with him on absolutely everything. So he's out on the campaign trail trying to get those guys basically kicked out of their spots so that he can get somebody else in there. President Trump has cemented his legacy as the president of peace. In addition to the remarkable success achieved during his first term with his historic Abraham Accords, President Trump has leveraged his deal-making, the ability to secure unprecedented peace in 8 conflicts throughout the world over the course of just 8 months of his second term. He negotiated peace between, we already know all those places. He ended the war in Gaza with all living hostages returned. And I think they got all the dead hostages back except for.
Can I ask you a question real quick about him?
So
Have you seen more of his content?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, I just because I'm new to this guy, I was just wondering. He seems really fucking neutral when he talks about this stuff. Like he doesn't, at least this video, he doesn't seem to look left to right. Which I'm
I mean,
curious why people in the chat are trying to pin him to one side or the other.
he's pretty down the middle, bro. This is my old school partner. Me and him started YouTube at the same time. We used to make content together.
Yeah, I'm liking the way his approach is to this so far.
Yeah, he's a smart dude, and he's a military guy too, so he knows what he's talking about.
Oh shit, yeah, that's cool.
But I'm gonna keep going. See, I want to try and get through the whole thing. Clue, come on up if you want, bro. I got a few topics I want to talk to you about, Clue.
And I do agree. He did have a lot to do with that. I'm not going to say he was the exact reason on why any of that happened, but he did have a lot to do with just about every single one of those incidents. But if you look and pay attention to all those incidences, a lot of it was JD Vance going here, Marco Rubio going there, that his little main negotiator, Witkoff, I think his name, they were all going all over the places. Trump wasn't doing anything. Trump was just sitting in front of the cameras and running his mouth the whole damn time.
What up, Clue?
Blizzy Blind, Angel in the building. What's up, y'all?
How you doing, man?
Bro? Nice to see you.
You too, man.
All right, I'm gonna put this video down because I'm pretty sure that we are gonna. It won't be hard to find a good discussion.
Yeah.
So how you been, Clue?
I just got off the airplane. I was back from Dallas, Texas. So
you get jet lag?
No, it's just one time zone. It's just the whole travel thing is tiring.
Did you say you're in Dallas right now?
No, I flew back to Atlanta from Dallas.
I was gonna say, bro, we should link up, dude, because I'm like 5 hours away.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Yo.
So okay, y'all talking about Trump's alliance with Israel?
That's pretty crazy.
I guess that's a part of it.
Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about him is his alliance with those people.
Well, I personally don't like any time somebody makes a bunch of promises and then flips 180. Like he went from Kash Patel, Bongino, and him pushing the Epstein thing. And the other thing Trump was saying while he was running, which I voted for him because the alternative was Kamala, but it was my first vote in my life. And the other thing he was pushing hard was when I get into office, I'm going to go through that Thomas Crook's phone. He has never done any of that. And then it's Epstein who?
The Epstein thing is crazy considering he ran on that shit, dude.
Well, I doubt that Trump was actually caught doing anything to young minors because Trump...
I don't think he was on an island. I don't.
Yeah, but he bought a hotel and a yacht that used to be a honey trap operation. So that guy was fucking keen to those operations.
I don't know, bro. He says it enough times, like in the documented interactions. He references Epstein and young girls like many fucking times.
Yeah.
That's so why I think they fell out.
I think his name is in them, which he just doesn't want to be a bad scar on him. But I don't really think he would have done something as stupid as to shag young girls with Epstein.
When they asked Epstein in his deposition, they asked him if he's ever been in the presence of Trump and underage girls, and he pled the fifth.
Yeah.
So it's like he was like, "I'll reserve my right to speak on it" or whatever. So it's like, if the answer was no, don't you think he would just say no?
No, I think that he probably brought young girls around Trump, but I just don't think Trump went in there on camera and shagged any girls. It's not his thing. The other thing is
the young. No,
you know when Trump refused to put out the victims or the list of other people, and the victims started getting together to compile a list. They, from what I hear, they have said Trump was not involved. So far, I don't hear any victims blaming Trump.
I mean, I can agree with that. I think Trump probably didn't sleep with any of them, but I mean, he obviously was complicit.
That's not to say that Trump didn't ever sleep with the underage girl. Maybe he did. He was a playboy billionaire. But the thing is, I just don't think. I think a lot of people knew that Epstein was a honeypot. I think Trump definitely knew that. So I just don't think Trump was dumb enough to go get caught up in operations. He very well made his own honeypot operation. At least he purchased a yacht and a hotel that used to be a honeypot operations.
Huh.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he wouldn't be aware of what those operations are.
What do you think, Clue?
I don't think he has any interest in
Youngsters?
females under 18. I don't think he does.
Yeah, because
I
his
don't,
intelligence, huh? Like he wouldn't want to talk to a child
and plus
intelligence.
that's why he and Epstein fell out, because he would go on. Trump would go on TV and say, "Jeffrey likes him young. He likes him really
Yeah.
young."
And Jeffrey tried to take his girls from Mar-a-Lago. That's why they fell out. He was like, he went after my girls at Mar-a-Lago.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother's a big Trump guy, and he said the same thing, that they fell out over that, and it's like that seems a little bit convenient, but
No, it's what Jeffrey would have done. Can you imagine Jeffrey being at Mar-a-Lago and not trying to recruit Trump's ladies?
no, I'm talking that Trump disagreed with the fact that the Epstein was doing that or something along those lines.
Oh,
But I mean, I don't know. Trump is an anomaly, bro. Like he's so hard to understand. You know, a lot of things he does. He don't drink. He don't smoke. Like
he don't like drugs.
yeah, it's hard to relate to him.
Mm-hmm. But I did count between 4 and 6 ties that Trump was wearing with Epstein, which means at least 4 different occasions.
Well, there's a picture where Trump is buying a chick off of Epstein with this giant check. Have y'all seen that?
No.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. No.
It's like he's giving him a giant check, and it's saying I don't remember exactly what it says on the check, but it's like for this chick, for this certain chick. Like, damn, that's crazy.
Did you see Epstein's emails that recently got released about him talking about Trump? And then he was asked about it by a Democrat, and he said no.
Well, in one of those communications, he was talking to his brother about a video with Trump and Bubba, which is Bill Clinton, supposedly. What do y'all think about that?
Don't know.
Could Trump be gay?
No.
Nah. What? That's crazy.
Trump's
That's
too manly
crazy.
to be gay. He'd scare gays. Obama? Maybe.
Oh, definitely. It was Bathhouse Barry.
I know.
Yeah, yo, I heard Obama used to do some wild shit, bro. Like, I heard it from, like, the fucking streets.
Yeah.
That boy used to smoke rock and shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just allegedly.
And he'd pick up boys in a cab. Allegedly.
Fucking crazy. So, Clue, I have to ask you, dog, have you been seeing how the fucking whole social media is starting to be racist, bro?
I don't believe in race, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
We are all the same race, aren't we?
Yeah,
I
don't believe in that
race.
color stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe it believe in it in a negative way. I just respect all my people's heritage and culture and all that. Like, there's none above another. But it's crazy because, like, I keep on seeing it's like a trend to like put out racist content, bro. And this shit is actually like getting like mad support.
Like, oh, you mean the people that are like calling people the N-word and like getting a bunch of money donations?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's like grifting off of the like when Carmelo Anthony killed that other white kid. There you can grift off of that shit now. People make a bunch of money. Like he made $1 million, and then that chick that was calling that India guy, you know, a sand N-word, and then she got what? $500,000 or $1 million, and now there's another one that did it at like Starbucks, and she's
there's a chick that called an autistic
You talking
child.
about the Cinnabon chick?
Yeah, Cinnabon. Well, they're claiming she called an autistic child that, but she was actually talking to, I think, the dad.
I mean, either way, she made like $1 million, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy,
That's
right?
crazy.
GoFundMe.
I want to go to Mexico and talk shit with my Mexican homies where I pretend I don't know how to speak Spanish. They tell me to go up to a trans and say, yo necesito chupar tu huevo, señorita. And then I do it just to be funny, right? Because I know what I'm asking a tranny if I want to suck their dick. But they don't know I know Spanish. So I just pretend they say, hey, man, you want to go ask that chick? Go out.
No, you're asking them.
And then when they laugh at me, it gives me the opportunity to say, swim your ass across the Rio Grande wet back and mow my lawn. And then they laugh at that. I might be able to put that on like social media.
Gratuitous story, but cool story.
No, you probably know Mexicans. Like if you drink with them, they have kind of a sexualized sense of humor. They like to say gay shit, and it's funny to them, man. So I don't mind doing that. It's fucking hilarious. I like drinking. One night, all my friends that sell tours, they made a really good sale day. So the owner bought a bunch of dinner and a bunch of beer, and we were drinking and talking shit the whole time. Mexicans love to talk shit. And me too. So we have a good time together.
Okay, but yeah, you're crazy toxic. What do you call it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. What about you, Clem?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah. Well, you asked to see her nuts, is what you asked.
No, I said asked to suck her nuts. Supa tu huevos is to suck her nuts. I told her I need to. Yo necesito as yo necesito as I need to suck your nuts. You know what I did? The first time I found out Mexicans understand my jokes, my friend comes to me, and we had a guy staying in my hotel that was from Denmark. And my friend say, hey, man, Holmes, this guy wants to go see a horror house. You want to come? I was like, dude, I'm not into that. He's like, dude, you just got to come check it out. Like, a spectator. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. So we go. And then first of all, I didn't expect the women to walk out naked. So I was a little like embarrassed and bashful. So the madam brings out like 18 girls totally naked. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then she says $75 for an hour. And I said, Señora, yo necesito solamente 3 minutos. ¿Cuántos solamente 3? So I said, I only need 3 minutes. How much for just 3 minutes? And they all bust up laughing. And my friend busts up laughing. And then she says, it's still $75. And so I walk out and I said, Charlie, I thought you Mexicans didn't understand American humor. He says, man, that shit's universal, Holmes. And so then when we go to this place every night in the alley to eat at 1:30 in the morning, I'm sitting here eating my tacos, and the owner's son starts busting up laughing and says, hey, yo, 3 minutos. And so the next 2 weeks when I walk to that place, he sees me as soon as I come around the alley. And now there's like 50 people eating dinner at the table. He says, hey, 3 minutos. And everyone knows what the fuck he's talking about. So they all laugh at me. And he thinks that's so funny that even though I haven't seen him in 5 years, the next time I walk around that corner, he's going to call me 3 minutos. So I earned my nickname. Just 3 minutos.
That's crazy.
But it's true, dude. Like, what am I supposed to do longer than 3 minutes with hookers that are that good looking? I mean, I wouldn't hook up with them, but God, 3 minutes is universal.
But they're good looking, though.
Yeah, they were. But I've seen enough old men walk around with those young prostitutes. There's no way.
Hell. I don't know what to say.
Mexico's fucking fun. I have a blast down there.
Yeah, it's fun. TJ has the donkey show.
Oh God, I don't even go to TJ. It's not Mexico, in my opinion.
It's crazy.
Tijuana.
Yeah. It's since it's right across the border, they try to appease to Americans that want to do shit that they can't do in America. So it's very different than southern Mexico.
Yeah, for sure. It's dangerous. So what's been up with you, Blue? You cover any kind of cool content lately or anything?
Not yet. I'm gonna do a different version of my channel in 2026.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I'm revamping the whole thing.
Any, what were you doing in Houston? Did you say
Dallas.
Dallas?
I went to a concert
Oh.
for
Oh,
last
who'd
week.
you go see?
Went to see Erica Badu.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, that was her final city of the tour because she's from Dallas.
Holy
so I
shit!
went there.
Was it good?
It was real good, bro.
No
Hell
shit.
yeah.
A final city of a tour has got to be the best, huh?
It was good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Erica Badu's cool as shit too.
Have you been blind?
Good, good. I've been kind of not really like present online, but I just kind of come on sporadically, you know.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I've been real into my nieces and nephews' baseball, dude. They're like natural athletes.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my niece is having a quinceañera, so like we're getting ready for that.
Oh, that 15th birthday. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fancy. She's gonna have a real crown. I think I might sponsor her for a crown, dude, but it's like hella expensive,
What's a crown?
like a princess crown, but
Oh, like a tiara.
yeah, tiara or whatever. But it's like, bro, it's like the most regal shit. Like white dresses, everybody's gonna be wearing a suit and shit. Like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's like a sweet 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shit, I haven't really been keeping up with everything online. But today I came back and it's like crazy because a hell of a lot of people that I haven't seen in forever I saw today. I haven't seen you in a while, Clue.
You guys do the mariachis at like American Mexican parties?
I mean, we're not gonna have them, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have a DJ probably.
Cool.
Yeah, that's like deep Mexico. My dude, my I call him my brother, but he's not blood. A kid I grew up with, like from 5 years old and on. His dad was a famous mariachi dude, and
Oh, yeah, I saw you streaming with him.
Oh yeah, okay, you saw
Yeah.
that? He
Yeah.
played for the king, dude, the king of England. Look, let me bring him up. Let's see if he's on YouTube. But they like
You guys were clowning on each other like brothers. He was like, "You had that gay affair with so and so," obviously joking, but that was some funny shit, bro. You were just joking about it. You guys are fucking totally like brothers, man.
That's my bro, dude, from like when we were little bitty babies.
Yeah.
We met in the neighborhood, like just he lived 2 houses down from me, and we just his family was rich, but they pretty much just like didn't care about him.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so my mom pretty much adopted him. I'm not seeing him on YouTube. That's crazy.
So, Blind, how's your art these days?
Dude, I haven't painted since I moved to this new apartment.
Oh, you moved to a new apartment?
Yeah. My lease was finally up. I had been a year already at that apartment, so I moved to this other one.
That's funny. I just moved too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, it took me like it's crazy because I've been getting my life back on like a normal track, bro, of like not being consumed with the internet and not being doing dumb shit and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
But it's crazy because it takes time, dude. It takes a lot of time and like you have to constantly be like putting in a hell of a lot of work to change shit in your life.
It's crazy. The situation with me just fucking came out of nowhere, bro. I bought a house within a week of even finding out about it, man. It was
Damn.
a week later I was living in it. So it was like this chick moved to town, which was a friend's ex-girlfriend. and she wanted to buy this one friend of mine's place. Well, she showed up, and then they were going into escrow, and she told him, we'll close next week. And then she ghosted him. So then my dad comes home and he's like, oh, I got to show these friends of ours has a house. And he's like, I got to show their house to this chick. And I said, what the fuck? This chick is full of shit, man. You should not be trying to help that chick fuck over our friends. In fact, we should buy that house. He's like, yeah, but it's too late. I already got to do this. So he goes, the chick ghosts them. And then they contact us 2 days later and say, yeah, we'll sell you the house. We're like, fuck yeah, we're moving right in.
Hell yeah. Shit,
I was living in a fucking trailer, man. It sucked.
Oh yeah, trailer life can be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I gotta drop down. I'm tired from this flight.
Nice to see you, Clue.
Nice salute,
You
Clue.
too.
Don't be a stranger, bro.
All right, I hit y'all up later.
All right, man.
Peace.
Hey, Toxic, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. You got any last words, bro?
Nope. Have a good one, man.
You too. All right, guys. We will maybe if we have time, we'll finish this up tomorrow. The last of Killshot's video. Other than that, man, y'all guys take care. Stay blessed up. Salute. Remember, there's your side, her side, and the blind side. Blind side news. Y'all be good. I'm out. Peace.